So I'm going to teach you how to make mini tacos, and just a pre-warning, it's a little bit of a process. So first things first, you're going to need to defrost some meat. And defrosting can either be, you can leave it in the fridge for a couple hours, and that takes a little longer, so that's better if you start it at the beginning of the day if you're going to be making it at night. Or you could do it the fast way in the microwave using a microwave-safe dish, obviously not a metal one. I've already done mine. We chose to do ground turkey instead of ground beef because it is only 10% fat ground turkey, and there's less cholesterol, and there's less chance of you getting a heart disease or getting cardiovascular disease and cancer from using a lean meat rather than a red meat. Okay, so now you're going to get a large pot and put it on a large burner on your stove. Next, you're going to set your burner to high because we are going to be sauteing the meat. Water to saute the meat instead of using oil. Using water decreases the fat, and fat would be unhealthy in this dish. It also decreases some of the risks that come along with using cooking oil. Next, you're going to add 1.5 cups of water. Next, you're going to wait for your water to start bubbling like mine is. And you're going to add in your meat. Now, you're going to need a spatula, and using your spatula, you're going to move your meat around. Make sure you keep the meat moving or it'll start to burn. You want to continue this process until your meat is all brown. You want to make sure that you get your meat completely brown because it cuts down on the risk of bacterial-borne food illnesses. Plus, the texture of not brown meat is pretty nasty. Once you have your meat completely brown, you're going to reduce the heat on your stove to a 2 setting or a low setting. It depends on your stove top. I like to add black beans into my meat. It adds fiber and an inexpensive source of extra protein. We are going to add in 2 cans of black beans. First, you're going to drain off the extra liquid, and then we're going to open up our cans so that we can add them in to our meat. And we're going to mix them in. We have 2 very different packets of taco seasoning. We have McCormick and Old El Paso. This is why we want to use the McCormick rather than the Old El Paso. So when we turn them over and we look at the nutrition facts, the first thing we're going to look at is the ingredients. Here you see natural ingredients, including spices, cumin, paprika, pepper, onion, whey, milk, salt, garlic, sugar, potato starch, and natural flavor. Those are all pretty good ingredients. When we come over to Old El Paso, the first ingredient is something most of us probably don't even know, maltodextrin. And you see some ingredients that were mentioned on the other one, but most of these look pretty nasty. Add in our McCormick seasoning. All you have to do is pour it in, and we're going to be using 2 packets because we did for the amount of meat and water we use. We're going to need 2 packets to get the full flavor. Now we're going to mix it in. Okay. We're going to let this simmer for a while and talk about vegetables and toppings. Vegetables that we will be using as our toppings. For me, I get all organic vegetables, including organic lettuce, tomatoes, and peppers. Getting organic vegetables is important because organic vegetables don't have many of the chemicals that non-organic vegetables have and aid to grow. If you're using olives as a topping, here's a special olive tip. Olives, black olives, actually aren't black. If we take a look inside the olive can, we see that this olive is black and this olive is a dark brown color. They taste exactly the same, but this olive has an added color that is not so great. Here we see Normal ingredients: olives, water, salt, and then ferrous gluconate. What's that? To stabilize color. Now, this doesn't really seem like it's that bad, but artificial coloring in anything isn't good. These are completely natural olives with no ferrous gluconate, just olives, water, and sea salt. So we're going to use these ones, even though they look a little uglier. Next, we're going to talk about the dairy aspects of the dish. So we have cheese and we have sour cream. So first we're going to talk about cheese. Now cheese, these do not look like the kind of cheese you would buy when you're making tacos. Usually you'd buy the pack of shredded cheese that's pre-shredded, not still in block form. Well, the reason why that's not great is because they add a anti-caking agent into the shredded cheese, which keeps it from sticking to itself. This anti-caking agent is not great for you, and anything artificial usually isn't good. So, in these, we will be grating them ourselves instead of getting pre-shredded. Today, you learned how to make super healthy tacos. These are great for a snack, or for a dinner, or on the go. If you make it ahead of time, you can heat it up really quickly and take it with you. It tastes great, and you know you've used really healthy organic ingredients. That tastes really good. I can't wait to share it with you. Thanks for watching.